everyone and welcome back to our module on product strategies for the bottom of the pyramid market. Today we will see a critical issue that affects both consumers and brands. The issue is duplicate and counterfeit products. Counterfeiting is not just a concern for luxury brands. It's a massive challenge for daily essentials, particularly in BOP markets, where access to affordable products often outweighs concerns about authenticity and safety. The consequences, however, are far reaching, impacting consumers' health, trust in brands, and the economy as a whole. Counterfeit products in BOP market has to be understood. The proliferation of counterfeit goods is widespread across the globe, with over 74% of consumers in certain regions knowingly or unknowingly purchasing counterfeit items. In lower income segments like the BOP market, where consumers are motivated by the need for affordable alternatives, this problem is more pronounced. Counterfeit products in BOP markets are not just restricted to luxury knockoffs. They often include essential items like electronics, medicines, clothing, and even food. In regions like India and Africa, low-cost versions of branded products such as counterfeit soaps, shampoos, and mobile accessories flood the market, making it easy for consumers to access cheap alternatives. However, these counterfeit goods can pose severe health risks, especially when we consider items like medicines and food products. For instance, the World Health Organization has raised concerns about counterfeit medication in BOP markets. This can lead to ineffective treatments or even fatalities. In Nigeria, for example, the circulation of counterfeit anti-malarial drug has been a major issue, causing preventable deaths. Similarly, in India, a report by Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry have indicated that the counterfeit market for FMCG products, including essential items like packaged foods and personal care products, grew by nearly 44% in recent years. Now let's see some different types of counterfeit products. First, look-alikes. Look-alike products are designed to replicate the appearance of popular brands in such a way that they visually deceive consumers. These counterfeit goods mimic key elements such as packaging design, logos, and color schemes, making it hard for buyers to distinguish between the fake and the real products, especially when purchasing in less regulated environments like street markets or small retail stores. In India, for example, look-alike detergent powders may use packaging that closely resembles to Surf Excel or Reen with similar color scheme, font style and even the taglines. To the untrained eye, especially in the bottom of the pyramid market, where consumers may not have the luxury of inspecting products closely, the packaging alone can convince them that they are buying the genuine article. These look-alike products are often made with cheaper, lower quality materials, which means the consumer ends up paying for an inferior product that doesn't meet the standard of the original brand. The second type of counterfeit product is spell-alikes. Spell-alikes are a clever but misleading form of counterfeiting, where only minor changes are made to the brand name. The goal is to make the product name appear authentic at first glance, hoping that the consumer won't notice that small difference in the spelling. For example, instead of popular sportswear brand Adidas, a counterfeit product might be labeled as Adidas. This small change of A and O in spelling could easily be missed by consumers, particularly in fast paced or high pressure purchasing environments. In the BOP market, price sensitive consumers often focus on getting a product that looks and feels like a well known brand without closely scrutinizing the spelling or the logo of the product. Counterfeiters exploit this by offering these spell alike products at very lower price, knowing that brand recognition factor can still drive sales for them. These products are common in sectors such as apparel, footwear, electronics, and while they may be cheap, they rarely match the durability or quality of the originals. The third type of counterfeit products are known as clones. Clones represent a higher level of counterfeiting sophistication, where product itself is nearly identical to the original. This is most prevalent in the electronic market, particularly with smartphones and gadgets. For instance, counterfeit version of iPhones or Samsung smartphones are manufactured to look almost indistinguishable from the authentic versions. These clones are often sold at a fraction of the price, luring customers who seek high-end devices but they cannot afford it. However, the inferior quality of the components inside these clone products means they typically malfunction quickly, lack proper warranty coverage, and can even pose safety risks such as overheating or battery explosions. In the BOP market, where access to affordable electronic is limited, clones can be especially tempting, but they often result in poor user experience and financial loss. The fourth type of counterfeit product is grey market products. Grey market goods are legitimate products that are imported and sold through unauthorized distribution channels. They are not technically counterfeit as they are made by the original manufacturer, but they are sold outside of the authorized distribution network. In India, this is a common practice with mobile phones, where products that are meant for international markets are sold at lower price domestically. These products, while authentic, do not come with any kind of official warranty or guarantee or any after sales service, leaving consumers vulnerable if something goes wrong. BOP consumers may be attracted to the lower price but might find themselves at a disadvantage if they need any kind of repair or customer support, as authorized service centers typically do not cater to grey market products. This can be a significant issue, especially for expensive electronics, where the lack of warranty means the consumer has to bear the full cost of any repair or any malfunction in the product. The fifth counterfeit type of product is fake pharmaceuticals. Counterfeit medicines are among the most dangerous type of counterfeit products. In many developing regions, including BOP markets, the distribution of fake or substandard pharmaceutical is rampant. These counterfeit drugs may contain incorrect doses or harmful substances or no active ingredient at all, which can have a life-threatening consequences for the consumers. According to the World Health Organization, around 10% of medical products in low income countries are either substandard or falsified. This poses a severe risk in BOP markets where healthcare access is already limited. Fake pharmaceuticals not only undermine consumer trust in healthcare systems, but it can also lead to drug resistance, prolonged illness, or even death. Government and regulatory bodies are trying to combat this issue, but the scale of the problem makes it difficult to eradicate completely, especially for rural and underserved areas. The sixth type of counterfeit product are counterfeit FMCG products. Fast moving consumer goods such as soaps, shampoos, packaged food, they are frequently counterfeited, especially in BOP markets. These products are daily necessities and consumers in these markets may be more concerned with price than with authenticity. However, counterfeit versions of products like Lifebuoy soap or Clinic Plus shampoo often fall short in terms of quality and hygiene standards. While the packaging might look similar to the original, the ingredient used in the counterfeit products are usually substandard. This not only shortchanges the consumer, but it can also pose serious health risks such as skin irritation, allergies, or even exposure to harmful chemicals. In the case of counterfeit packaged food, poor quality control can lead to contamination, making these products unsafe for consumption. The challenge is exacerbated by the fact that BOP consumers may not have easy access to the information about all these products and their authenticity. And counterfeit products are often sold in informal markets where regulatory oversight is minimal. Each of these types of counterfeit products create significant risk for consumers, particularly in the BOP market, where access to authentic product is limited and the emphasis on affordability can make people more vulnerable to purchasing fakes. Counterfeit goods not only undermine consumer trust in brand, but it can also have severe economic, social and health consequences, especially for low income communities. First part of challenge which is there because of counterfeit is economic constraint. Counterfeit products are often sold at a fraction of the price of their authentic counterpart, making them a highly attractive options for consumers in the bottom of the pyramid segment. Where economic constraints are more pronounced with limited disposable income, these BOP consumers prioritize affordability, which leads them to choose counterfeit goods despite being aware of potential risk attached to it. These buyers typically weigh the short-term saving against the long-term consequences, such as poor quality, health risk, or even financial loss. As a result, counterfeits become a viable alternative to genuine products, particularly in essential categories like food, clothing, electronic, and even healthcare products. The economic pressure of BOP consumers push them to make decisions based on immediate needs rather than long-term value, often encourages the consumption of counterfeit goods. The second challenge is hedonic motivation. Beyond economic constraints, there is a psychological factor that drives counterfeit consumption, known as hedonic motivation. For many consumers, especially the younger generation like Gen Z, There is a sense of pleasure in acquiring a product that closely resembles the original but at a much lower cost. These consumers often perceive counterfeit goods as acceptable alternatives or dupes of the original branded products without fully understanding the implication of the counterfeit market. Hedonic motivations are not just about saving money, but it is also about gaining status and social capital. Consumers may feel a sense of belongingness when they possess products that mimic high-end brands, even if they are not the authentic version. This desire to maintain social status while avoiding high cost of branded products can lead to widespread consumption of counterfeits, especially in the sectors like fashion, electronics and beauty products. Many BOP consumers, particularly those in urban areas, have come to accept these fakes as a normal part of the consumer landscape. Given the growing trends of counterfeit culture on social media, it is becoming more and more acceptable. The third challenge, the role of social media and e-commerce. In the digital age, social media platforms and e-commerce have become central to the proliferation of counterfeit products. Social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook have become hubs for advertisements and sale of counterfeit products. Through targeted ads, influencer marketing, and direct peer recommendations, counterfeit sellers reach vast audience, especially among younger BOP consumers who spend a significant amount of time on their online social media. These platforms often provide a false sense of security where fake products are marketed with glossed up visuals and euphemistic terms like reps, authentic like to mask their counterfeit nature. Sellers on these platforms often employ tactics such as discrete product listings, hidden logos, and deceptive packaging to avoid detection by authorities and to mislead consumers. This has been especially prevalent in online marketplaces like WhatsApp groups and Facebook Marketplace, where rural and urban BOP consumers search for electronics, fashion, and even healthcare products. The trust placed in this platform by consumers, combined with lack of awareness of how to properly verify products, leads many buyers to unknowingly purchase counterfeit goods. These platforms also exploit the widespread reliance on peer-to-peer recommendations, where counterfeit goods are marketed as good deals, creating a sense of community validation among buyers. For example, counterfeit mobile phone accessories, electronics, clothing, and shoes are often sold through Facebook Marketplace or sometimes WhatsApp groups, particularly targeting rural areas where consumers may have less access to authentic branded stores. Sellers often promise high quality products at unbeatable prices, appealing directly to the economic constraint of BOP consumers. Because these platforms are often less regulated than traditional e-commerce sites, there is a higher risk of deceptive sales practices. The global reach of social media and e-commerce has made counterfeit products more accessible than ever before, making it increasingly difficult for consumers to distinguish between genuine and counterfeit goods. The fourth challenge is lack of awareness and education. A critical factor in the consumption of counterfeit product in BOP market is the lack of awareness and education about the dangers associated with buying counterfeit goods, many consumers in these segments may not be aware of the potential harm these products can cause, ranging from subpar quality to safety hazards. In some cases, counterfeit goods may pose serious health risks, such as fake pharmaceuticals or unsafe electronic components. There is a significant gap in customer education when it comes to identifying counterfeit products, particularly in rural areas where access to resources like consumer protection laws, government regulations, or even basic product knowledge may be limited. As counterfeit products become more and more sophisticated and mimic authentic item more closely, consumers find it harder to differentiate between the two. In many cases, counterfeiters use convincing packaging labels and trademarks which further deceive consumers into thinking that they are purchasing a legitimate product. This is exacerbated by the fact that BOP consumers often rely on word of mouth recommendations from peers or even by social media influencers, which can further perpetuate the consumption of counterfeit goods. The fifth challenge is cultural acceptance. In some BOP market, there is a certain level of cultural acceptance surrounding counterfeit goods. For example, in some communities, counterfeits are seen as a legitimate way to gain access to luxury items or high demand products that might otherwise be out of reach. This cultural normalization of counterfeits can lead to widespread tolerance of counterfeit consumption, with many consumers not seeing it an issue of ethical concern. This perception is particularly strong among younger consumers who view owning fake branded goods as a form of expression or rebellion rather than an act of fraud or deception. This cultural shift further perpetuates the demand for counterfeit products as they are seen as acceptable in the broader social context. The drivers of counterfeit consumption in BOP markets are multifaceted, encompassing economic pressure, hedonic desires, the pervasive influence of social media and e-commerce, a lack of consumer education, and cultural acceptance. To mitigate these challenges, there need to be a concerted effort from both government bodies and organizations to raise awareness about the risk of counterfeit products, educate consumers on how to spot them, and consequences counterfeit product in the bottom of the pyramid market. Counterfeit products have a far-reaching impact on both consumers and legitimate businesses in the BOP market. While these products often seem like an affordable alternative, they actually can bring about serious negative consequences. Let's see into some of these consequences. The first, health and safety risk. In the BOP market, counterfeit products, especially in critical categories like pharmaceutical, food, personal care item, they pose significant risks to consumer health and their safety. For example, the sale of counterfeit medicines is rampant in many low-income countries. This substandard or fake drugs may contain incorrect or harmful ingredients, or they may lack the active ingredients needed to treat the intended condition patient is in. This can lead to ineffective treatment, prolonged illness, or even death. A glaring example in the World Health Organization's estimate that 1 in 10 medical products in low-income countries are either substandard or falsified. In regions with limited access to genuine healthcare products, counterfeit medicines often sold at cheaper prices, which can be a dangerous and life-threatening alternative. Consumers may unknowingly buy counterfeit products thinking they are getting the necessary treatment, only to face worsened health conditions due to poor quality product. Additionally, fake food and beverages can also lead to serious consequences such as food poisoning, allergies, long-term health complications. The lack of proper regulatory system in these regions exacerbates the problem, leaving consumers vulnerable to harmful counterfeit goods. The second thing is brand erosion. Counterfeit products erode the value and reputation of established brands. When counterfeit versions of branded products flood the market, consumers start losing trust in the quality and authenticity of the original brand. For multinational companies like P&G, Procter and Gamble, Unilever, counterfeiting is a persistent issue, especially in developing countries like India. Counterfeit version of products such as detergent powder, soaps, shampoos are often sold at lower prices, making them attractive for the BOP market. However, counterfeit goods undermine the brand's trustworthiness. Consumers who purchase these fake products may have negative experiences from poor product performance to dissatisfaction with the results. Over time, this can weaken the perception of the brand, and even legitimate products from the original companies may see a reduction in sales. As a consumer turn to lower cost alternative or lose confidence in the brand altogether, the damage to a brand's reputation can be long lasting, affecting its market share and profitability. The third point is economic loss for legitimate business. Counterfeiting doesn't just harm consumers, but it also costs legitimate businesses substantial amount in lost revenue. In markets like India, counterfeit goods often saturate local shops, which means that consumer may choose the cheaper counterfeit alternative over the original. Legitimate products are facing challenges. This diversion of sales harms companies' bottom lines and stifles growth. For businesses, the fight against counterfeit products often involves investigating in anti-counterfeit measures like packaging innovations, security features, and legal actions to protect their intellectual property. These efforts come at a cost, further straining businesses, particularly in regions with lax enforcement of intellectual property rights. Companies may also suffer from the increased cost of dealing with counterfeit goods, including legal fees, lost revenues, and potential need to rebrand or change their marketing strategy. The fourth point is consumer confusion and misinformation. As counterfeit products flood the market, consumer confusion increases. Many consumers, especially in the BOP market, may not have the knowledge or resources to differentiate between genuine and fake products. This can lead to uninformed purchasing decisions, where consumers end up spending money on substandard goods that do not meet their needs. For example, counterfeit goods often come with misleading packaging or falsely advertised benefits. When consumers buy such products and do not see the expected results, they may feel misled, which affects their trust in the entire market and can create a sense of uncertainty regarding the legitimacy of any product. The fifth point is social and environmental impact. Counterfeit products are typically produced with little regard for environmental sustainability or even labor rights. Many counterfeit goods are made in informal settings where labor standards are often poor and environmental regulations are bypassed. This creates a ripple effect. The use of harmful chemicals and unsafe production processes harms workers, local ecosystem and consumers alike. In countries with weak enforcement of labor and environmental laws, this become a widespread issue. For example, counterfeit goods such as clothing, electronics or toys are often made using toxic material or in unsafe conditions, exposing workers to harm and contributing to environmental degradation. In the long run, this practice creates an unsustainable market that has detrimental effect on both people and planet. Let's see one case study about fake mobile phones in Africa. A particularly alarming example of counterfeiting in BOP market is the proliferation of fake mobile phones in countries like Kenya and Nigeria. Mobile phones are essential tools for communication, business and education in many African countries. But counterfeit devices have become widespread. These counterfeit phones often mimic popular global brands like Samsung, Tecno and Nokia. While they are priced lower, they are often poorly made, prone to malfunctioning and lack the durability of genuine products. Consumers in the BOP market, lured by the cheaper price tags, unknowingly purchase these fake devices only to face issues such as overheating, short battery life and lack of proper technical support. In some cases, counterfeit phones may even be dangerous, posing fire or explosion risk due to faulty batteries. The result is that consumers lose not just their money, but they also trust in mobile phone brands. This surge in counterfeit mobile phones has significant economic implications. Legitimate mobile phones manufacturers already facing huge competition in emerging markets. They lose revenue to these fake competitors. Moreover, counterfeit devices lack the quality and customer service that genuine phones can offer, which ultimately harm the consumer experience and limit the potential for technological advancement in this kind of regions. Counterfeit products in the BOP market present multiple challenges from health risk to brand erosion and economic losses. While counterfeit goods may offer an initial price advantage, the long-term impact is overwhelmingly negative, affecting both consumers and legitimate businesses. Rising awareness about the risk of counterfeit products, enforcing stricter regulations and providing better access to genuine products are key steps in addressing these problems and protecting the integrity of markets worldwide. Now let's see some of the solutions and strategies for brands to combat counterfeiting in BOP market. The first strategy is consumer education. One of the primary solutions to tackle counterfeiting is consumer education. In BOP markets, many consumers may not be fully aware of the risks posed by counterfeit products, such as poor quality, safety hazards, and potential health issues. To combat this, brands must invest in educational campaigns to increase awareness about the dangers of counterfeit goods. These campaigns should not only focus on the general risk associated with fake products, but it should also emphasize specific categories like fake pharmaceuticals, electronics, or even food products. For example, in India, brands could use regional language and culturally relevant messaging to educate consumers about the severe consequences of purchasing counterfeit medicines or substandard electronics. By empowering consumers with knowledge, they can make more informed purchasing decisions and demand authentic products, reducing the impact of counterfeiting. The second strategy which can be utilized is anti-counterfeiting technologies. In the age of technology, innovative solutions can significantly reduce the prevalence of counterfeit products. Brands can leverage advanced technologies such as QR codes, holograms, and blockchain to authenticate their products. For instance, FMCG companies like Nestle and Unilever in India have started incorporating unique serial number and QR codes on their product packaging. These codes allow consumer to verify the authenticity of the product by scanning them with their smartphones. This technology not only reassures consumer, but it also enables brands to track the supply chain, identify counterfeit batches, and prevent fraud. In remote BOP markets, where physical verification might be challenging, this simple and affordable solution offers a significant steps toward combating counterfeiting. Additionally, blockchain can help secure product data and ensure that every transaction or exchange of goods is recorded transparently, making it nearly impossible for counterfeiters to infiltrate the supply chain. The third strategy to fight against counterfeit is collaboration with e-commerce platform. The digitalization of markets has led to a rise in counterfeit goods being sold through e-commerce platforms, especially in BOP markets. Since many consumers in these markets rely on online shopping, often due to convenience or limited access to brick and mortar stores, counterfeiters exploit digital platforms to distribute fake products. To address this, brands must actively collaborate with e-commerce giants like Amazon, Flipkart, and Alibaba to implement stricter regulations, monitoring systems, and reporting mechanism for counterfeit listing. Amazon, for example, has developed its transparency program, which enables brands to add unique codes to their products, making it easier for both consumers and e-commerce platform to identify counterfeit items. Similarly, Alibaba has worked on improving the effectiveness of its online anti-counterfeiting measures. Despite these efforts, there is still room for improvement, especially in BOP market, where digital literacy might be lower and counterfeit goods are more prevalent. Brands should advocate for enhanced monitoring and reporting capabilities on e-commerce platforms. It should encourage sellers to register authentic products and develop better system to verify listing before they are going live on the platform. The fourth strategy to fight against counterfeit is improving distribution channel and partnering with local authorities. Counterfeit products are often found in informal markets where distribution is not closely monitored. Brands need to strengthen their presence in local markets by partnering with trusted distributors and suppliers who are committed to selling authentic goods. Additionally, local authorities and regulatory bodies can play a crucial role in curbing the sales of counterfeit products. By collaborating with government agencies, brands can push for stricter enforcement of anti-counterfeiting laws and regulations. This collaboration can include awareness campaigns and setting up local complaint channels for consumer to report counterfeit items. The fifth way of fighting against counterfeit is create affordable product alternatives. One reason for the high demand for counterfeit products in BOP market is the price sensitivity of the consumer. Many counterfeit goods are sold at a fraction of the price of the original product, making them more appealing to cost conscious buyers. To tackle this, brands can consider offering affordable alternatives that maintain quality and reliability while being within the financial reach of BOP consumers. For example, offering smaller or economy sized packages, value packs, or budget friendly product lines could serve as a solution for consumers who might otherwise turn to counterfeit products due to price considerations. By providing affordable options, brand can reduce the incentive to purchase fake goods and improve customer trust. The sixth strategy which can be used is legal and regulatory measures. Brands should actively engage in advocating for stronger legislation and regulations around counterfeit goods. In some BOP markets, laws related to counterfeiting might not be stringent enough or enforcement may be lax. Collaborating with local governments to enhance legislation and penalties for selling counterfeit goods can significantly deter illegal trade. Strengthening customs and import regulations is another key area where international cooperations between brands and authorities can help prevent the entry of counterfeit products into local markets. Moreover, government should establish clear guidelines for intellectual property protection, ensuring that brands can more easily take legal action against counterfeiters and infringers. So, to conclude, counterfeiting remains a significant challenge for both consumers and brands in the bottom of the pyramid market. The lure of cheap, low quality goods can be enticing, but the long term consequences ranging from economic losses to health risks are undeniable. Brands must take a multifaceted approach to address this issue, combining consumer education, technological innovation, regulatory partnership, and affordable products alternative. By implementing these strategies, companies can protect their reputation, they can ensure consumer safety, and reduce the prevalence of counterfeit products in these vulnerable markets. As the BOP market continues to grow, it is crucial for brands to stay proactive and ahead of counterfeiting tactics, ensuring that authenticity and trust are upheld in these critical markets. So that's all for today's session. We have learned what counterfeiting and duplicate products are, what are their types, what are the challenges, and what are the different strategies which businesses can use to avoid this. So that's all for today's session. Thank you.